Hello, welcome to this update for the severe weather. So let's see what's happening. As we said yesterday, there's still some severe weather until Monday today. So today's Friday. We have this light risk, so they expanded it a little bit, and it goes parts of Texas, Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and all the way north to Nebraska. So they did add a small 5% tornado threat across northeastern Colorado into Nebraska, and this wider 2% tornado threat from Oklahoma to Wyoming and Nebraska, Kansas, parts of Colorado especially. So be careful in those areas today, especially in the 5% there. So have some warnings, and there's wind 15% across Arkansas, Missouri, into Oklahoma, and all the way to Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, and this 5% in Florida, and and Louisiana to southern Mississippi. So be careful. Also some hail in Florida, in Louisiana, Mississippi, and very large hail in Texas, Kansas, Colorado, and Nebraska, spots of Oklahoma too. So be careful. And this bigger 5%. And wind, they did have this hatched in Oklahoma for some very strong severe wind gusts. So please stay safe. Isolated scattered severe thunderstorms expected across parts of southern central plains this afternoon through the overnight hours with large hail, severe wind gusts as the main threats. Isolated very large hail, 2 inches in diameter or more might occur. So please be careful in those areas. The hurricane today doesn't appear so excited. It shows storms down there in Florida, so be careful. Those storms shows like some in southeastern Wyoming, there into Colorado. It doesn't show a major outbreak, but it doesn't show a significant threat either. It shows like those isolated supercells in Nebraska and Colorado, that large hail, some in Louisiana, that marginal risk, some in Texas, but it doesn't show anything that crazy. Like we have that slight risk in Arkansas, Oklahoma too. The hurricane is barely showing anything there, but this might change because this always changes. And yeah, because like the 6Z today did show stuff in Oklahoma into Kansas, so be aware in those areas. There's Cape too, still shows more in Texas, Oklahoma, and all the way to Nebraska, even like northeastern Colorado, close to 2,000 joules per kilogram or even higher. So this goes throughout Florida, more Cape as well, especially tomorrow. And the hurricane showing some crazy Cape tomorrow in Oklahoma, so stay safe. There's like here for the storms, does shows some heavy rain Kansas to Missouri, Oklahoma Saturday, and those severe storms to further south. And does show more rain throughout Nebraska, Wyoming spots tomorrow. So stay safe. There's like day 2, still this light risk all the way from Oklahoma to Alabama and the marginal. So there's a 5% tornado threat, Texas and Oklahoma tomorrow. So stay safe. Some tornadoes possible, and this margin and this 2% from Texas to Alabama, and also in Colorado, including Denver, 2%. So be careful. There's wind, the 15%, the slight risk, and the 5%, and also hail, some very large hail in Texas and Oklahoma into Kansas and the Ozarks. So be careful. Severe storms are likely across parts of southern plains to the southeast Saturday. So severe and gusts, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes be possible. Hailstones larger than 2 inches in diameter could also occur. Isolated severe storms are also possible across parts of central high plains. So stay safe Saturday. There's Sunday still a slight risk in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. This big marginal goes all the way from Colorado to South Carolina. So there's a significant severe around Texas and Oklahoma for very significant severe weather possible. A severe threat is expected Sunday afternoon and evening across parts of southern central plains. Threat for large hails, wind damage, couple of tornadoes be possible. Marginal severe threat also expected in parts of the southeast. So stay safe Sunday. Monday we still have this bigger 15% across Texas. So Monday is a day to watch as well. That slight risk in Texas. So be careful in those areas. Also a slight risk of flash flooding today across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas, and a marginal risk in Florida too, and around the slight risk. Day 2 shows another slight risk for Saturday for excessive rainfall those areas. So be careful. More flash flooding possible Saturday, especially those storms. But Sunday is a different story. Already a moderate risk into Oklahoma and Arkansas and Kansas, Missouri. So please be careful. And this might even increase. Right now, I don't think so, but depending on how the rainfall totals come, this might be more dangerous. So please be careful with flooding Sunday. And not this day, like today until next Tuesday. For Monday, still a slight risk from Texas to Tennessee, and still for Tuesday, a marginal risk from Texas to Virginia. So stay safe in those areas. Still shows next 7 days a few spots of 7 inches plus possible in southwestern Missouri to Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, especially like 5 inches, around 5 to 6 inches, those areas. A lot in Texas too, and all the way to Alabama, more than 3 inches, 4 inches. So please stay safe. More in Florida, spots of North Carolina, South Carolina, more rain as well. Snow, not really, but like day 3, day 4, not really anything impressive. So yeah, be careful. The thing a little bit more impressive is still this heat, southern Texas, a few spots of extreme heat risk, more like major, many parts of Texas Saturday, still extreme by Sunday. Monday, still extreme southern Texas, and all the way to Florida, the moderate and some spots of major. Tuesday still shows Tuesday, Wednesday extreme in Texas, and yeah, some moderate as far north as Washington. So be careful in those areas. And still shows here the GFS, like those browns close to like 7 inches, those darker browns even to like 7, close to 8 inches of rain in Kansas next 5 days. So please be careful those areas. This might get dangerous. And there's like the European, it shows more isolated in spots of Missouri, closer to like it has even to like 8 inches and a half in the very dark brown, like a widespread 5 to 8 inches in those areas, more in Arkansas, Kansas. So please stay safe in those areas. This will probably cause flooding. So be careful and stay safe from flooding. There's also the Canadian model, just for curiosity. It has less, it has around 3 to 5 inches, even 6 inches, a spot or two. So stay safe in those areas. We already discussed the temperatures tomorrow, but still very hot in the south. So be careful. Widespread A is 90s to like 100 near Texas, New Mexico. Shows like that in Fahrenheit, like to 103. This is Sunday. Shows more across Texas, like some 90s in the southwest, southeast, and very hot in the southeast as well, in a few portions. So especially like today in the southwest. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. Slightly below average, like in those areas of the Midwest, Northeast, because of those lower pressures. This goes slightly colder there in Canada and the Rockies, but especially like northern Canada, and still those negative temperatures. This go western Canada in the mountains, and we might warm up a lot by early next week in central Canada. So be aware. Those air still shows like today some stronger winds across Atlantic Canada and maybe the Northeast. This goes in Pacific Canada as well, to some higher gusts, those cyclones, like the extratropical cyclones. This goes, it does show next Tuesday, western spots of Canada slightly gustier. This goes and like potentially late on the 30th, like big time wind, western Canada, and even finger two across the east. But now nothing too crazy, just this northeastern Nova Scotia and everything. So be careful in those areas. Snow until next Wednesday in the Rockies, slightly a little bit in Colorado, Wyoming to northernmost Utah, even like central Utah. The European does show like less than a centimeter in California, but the GFS, yeah, the GFS kind of shows it. But yeah, be careful in spots of British Columbia and to Alaska, more than 169 centimeters of snow. In Alaska, might be like more close 50 inches or something. So be careful. Shows more like northern Alaska, spots of northwestern territories. I think we're in Quebec and into like northern Quebec, Newfoundland. So be aware, nothing too crazy, but be careful. The true crazy thing here is this rainfall that I showed you there in the central US. So be careful, but that shows some rain eastern Canada, like British Columbia is just like tons of rain, so like 300 millimeters in a few spots. This might be mixed with mountain snow because there's too many mountains there, but there will be rain as well in the lower elevation. So stay safe from flooding, because always when I see a map like this, some flooding happens. So please stay safe and be careful. Now in Central America, still like those storms, Central Mexico, be careful, scared thunderstorms like Southern Mexico too, tormentas, and the show in Belize, Nicaragua, still those heavy downpours in Costa Rica, Nicaragua, so stay safe there. Panama, a few spots, Guatemala, so still be careful those storms. In the Eastern Caribbean does show some showers across Cuba, a few thunderstorms maybe, Florida, Northern Bahamas, but especially Cuba, Dominican Republic, shows a few showers, and the Eastern Caribbean next 5 days. Nothing crazy, just be aware. Some wind as well. It shows like northern Venezuela, spots the Caribbean, even Nicaragua, a little bit of wind. So be aware. Central Caribbean, some small craft warnings maybe. Shows like until next week. And next week we'll have the introduction of a bigger dust plume potential. So still shows like Sunday in the Eastern Caribbean. Be careful with visibility starting Sunday, like low air quality and visibility in the Eastern Caribbean, especially Monday. That dust, like, does show some thicker dust Monday, and watch some good sunsets, but be careful with visibility and like the air quality. So be aware, and this dust will also influence like the hurricane season. There's nothing right now, it's completely quiet, but it might influence. And look what we have here. This is a new surprise. We just have it to 70% chance of development now in the Eastern Pacific. So we might get something good out there. Let's just see if it will affect Mexico or not. So an area of low pressure expected to form early next week, several hundred miles south of the southern coast of Mexico. Conditions appear favorable for development this season. Tropical depression likely to form the middle of next week. We're moving northwest or 10 to 15 miles per hour. So alright, 70%. We are watching this closely in those areas. The European ensembles do have it now, like, let's take a look to maybe in East Pacific here. So they do have a lot of support, still mainly staying out to sea. Just one rogue member goes to Mexico, but they mainly stay out to sea. So, but it does have a lot of support for this reform. GFS is all over the place, but does show mainly staying out to sea. But one or two might want to curve it back to Mexico later, but mainly staying out to sea. So be careful those areas. Just keep watching in case it comes, but you will probably stay out to sea. There's the GFS model, shows like that moisture starts forming by Thursday. Does show tropical depression by like next Tuesday already. They'll be named Alvin, the first name in the Eastern Pacific name list. So this goes and it goes away. So the most recent GFS doesn't have it making land for Mexico, but the European forms it so gradually, like very gradually later, and then starts getting something. But once again, I don't see 0Z here, so this is acting so weird. But there's the Canadian, this goes, it forms it a little bit later, but it does form it eventually there. And let's see, there's the icon too, showing uh, this goes, it does try to form two of them, one into Mexico and this huge one in the Eastern Pacific. So we'll keep watching this, but for now you stay out to sea. And in case later gets picked up by the jet or something goes into like the Baja, it might influence the severe weather later if it gets picked up in that direction. But that's so like far out long range, so let's focus on the present. But stay safe this severe weather and the heavy rains further south there in Central America and everything. Just one thing here, like southeast, so you can see those storms in Florida this afternoon and evening, and also tomorrow those storms. So stay safe in the southeast tomorrow.